Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nate, and if you're watching my show, you're in my corner. Uh, Today's episode is a post-fight show for UFC Fight Night. Covington versus Woodley, two top welterweights going at it for basically a quite possibly contender, a title shot against a rematch against Kamaru Usman. And yeah, this main card delivered from top to bottom, as well as the prelims. Actually, I mean, 14 fights total, and a lot of first round stoppages. And yeah, this is a post fight run down to the main card with my afterthoughts as always. So let's get started. To kick off the main card in the middleweight division, we had Kevin Holland versus Darren Stewart, and I got this one right on who won, but not how he won. So Kevin Holland won by split decision, which I think is bogus. Kevin easily won the first two rounds, and then he was winning the third round up until he lost position and ended up on the bottom, and Darren Stewart was just pounding on him, and Kevin Holland was lucky to stay in this fight. Kevin Holland should have won 29-28 unanimous decision across the board. I don't know what some of the judges were thinking, but this was a great fight. I was on the edge of my seat going, is the ref going to stop it, or is there going to be some big blow that ends Kevin Holland in this fight? However, Kevin Holland hung in there like the warrior he is, and survived that third round and en route to a decision victory. Good job, Kevin Holland, who's on a 3-fight win streak now. Then in the women's strawweight division, we had Mackenzie Dern versus Ronda Marcos. Ronda Marcos wanted to utilize her wrestling in this fight. I think this was a bad idea. I think Ronda Marcos should have kept this fight standing. That would have been her best shot against a high-level grappler in Mackenzie Dern. And sure enough, exchanged in grappling, and Mackenzie Dern eventually worked in first round submission armbar. Wow. Ronda Marcos hung in there, though. She was a warrior. She really fought to avoid being submitted and was jockeying for position. Great job for both ladies. Great fight across the board. Mackenzie Dern is amazing. I'm still mesmerized by how she's able to cut to strawweight. Every time someone mentions Mackenzie Dern, I'm thinking someone like a weight class or two above this. But yeah, she actually cuts to strawweight, and she made weight for this fight. Then in the light heavyweight division, we had Johnny Walker versus Ryan Spann, and this is the only fight on here I truly got wrong in every sense. Ryan Spann looked like he might have been able to pull off a victory in this fight. He was gaining dominant positions, and he was just pounding on Johnny Walker, but Johnny Walker got out of it, and Johnny Walker ended up a KO elbow and punches round one finish to pull off the victory and just shock the world and snap a losing streak. Johnny Walker got a very big, impressive win over Ryan Spann, because Ryan Spann's been looking great as of late. The way he was able to keep people like Sam Alvey at bay and really work the jab and work his strikes, but he also has great wrestling. And Johnny Walker was able to plow through all that and survive and then squeak out the victory. So good KO punches and elbows. Round one victory for Johnny Walker. Then in the middleweight division, we had Khamzat Chimaev against Gerald Meerschaert. This one, KO punch, round one, 17 seconds. Basically, Chimaev threw one kick and then basically one straight punch that landed perfectly on Gerald Meerschaert. Impressive win, and he got a performance bonus off this, obviously, with just 17 seconds in the fight. And what people are forgetting with Chimaev's last 3 fights is, in his last 3 fights total, only 2, I believe, significant strikes it was, or just strikes in general, have been landed on him, and that was 2 fights ago. So pretty much he's probably taken more damage in sparring sessions than he has in his last 3 professional fights in the UFC. So that is pretty impressive, and I'm very curious to see who he's going to be put up next. I'm excited to see, are they going to put him up against a top 15 guy, or is it going to be another name, maybe Kevin Holland, or who knows? I mean, maybe Damian Maia, the match that was, that was going to happen. So, yeah, who knows? But it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. Then, in the co-main event in the welterweight division, now this one I got half wrong because I went to a draw. Cowboy Cerrone versus Nico Price. Majority draw, because there is 1 point deduction in round 1 for Nico Price. So, like Cerrone said in the post-fight, this could have been a decision win for Nico Price, which then I would have got right on my pick on who won this fight. But it went to a draw, and I think they should run this fight back at some point and do a rematch. And Cerrone should get another shot to redeem himself in this fight. He hasn't had a win in a long time. I think, Cerrone's not going to, let's be honest, he's not going to fight a top 10 guy right now. He just needs to get a win under his belt. And I think Nico Price is a guy that could do that for him. And Nico Price wins, then it's a name opponent that he beat. So it's a win-win for both these guys if they do a rematch. The fight was going back and forth, but Nico Price, I had winning pretty much the bulk of the fight. It pretty much stayed stand-up. Cerrone went for some good grappling maneuvers, taking the back of Nico Price, but you could tell right away that nothing was going to happen with those moves when he jumped on Nico's back. But yeah, Nico is a warrior, and so is Cerrone, and let's see him redo it again. I would love to see it. Then in the main event in the welterweight division, we had 2 top welterweight contenders, former interim UFC champ Colby Chaos Covington versus former UFC welterweight champ Tyrone Woodley. And yeah, this fight was pretty much what I thought, because if there was no rib injury, it would have went to unanimous decision win for Colby Covington, and it was just dominance. Round 4 was 113 strikes to 2 for Colby Covington. That's how dominant this fight was. And Tyrone Woodley, people were saying he should retire. I think he needs to just take maybe a long time off, some time off, think it through, and maybe see a sports psychologist, see where his head's at and what he wants to do. But if he decides to retire, he's won his titles, made his money, got his fame, and so he's accomplished so much in the sport. And if he decides to come back, well, we'll see. And Colby Covington, I say have him fight Jorge Masvidal, because Gilbert Burns is next in line for the belt, and have him fight Jorge Masvidal maybe as like a co-main in that same card, and then the winner get a shot at the welterweight title. I think that would be a good matchup. But anyways, Colby looked great today, and this was a fun card. And stay tuned for my pre-fight show for UFC 253 Israel versus Paulo for the middleweight title. And as always, until then, see ya.